I'm programmed with essential 21st century smack talk. Your mother
is fond of Brainiac.
I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness.
So let's just get into it.
Hey, Mepps here, and welcome to another exciting video of the Daily Planet News, where you get all the latest news for DC Universe Online. Now I'm gonna pass it over to Spittle because this week's news dump is going to be crazy for everybody, especially me, because my job is on the line. So now let's get to the nitty gritty, itty bitty titty confetti, ditty ditty ditty. I forgot what I was gonna say.
What's good to see you is your homeboy Spittles back with another rundown of the Daily Planet News Dump. This week on the News Dump, we have insane information. There's a bunch of layoffs in the gaming industry all across the boards. We're gonna analyze this and go and see what's going on. Who got laid off here at Daybreak Games? It's unknown. We're gonna cover all the employees that possibly got laid off and how this is gonna impact the game and what can this possibly mean for the futures. There is drama on the forums. Did Mepps leave DCUO? Did he get fired? Is he being replaced? Who is gonna run the forums now? We have the answers for all of this and more. Stay tuned because this news dump is going to be a doozy. And then we're gonna take a deep dive with Nerd of Praise in exactly what is happening in the gaming industry with all of these layoffs. What is the truth? What is going on, guys? And for our last news story, learn why we had to limit the phases here at Daybreak Games, because we break the games and find out how we do this. And now, I'm going to pass it back over to Mepps for our lead stories.
The gaming industry is on fire, including my job. So right here you will see that a staff member has revealed that several senior staff has been laid off at Daybreak Games due to all of these companies laying off all of these employees. About 6,497 people have been laid off as of the beginning of this year. Now I'm going to show you exactly who got fired here at Daybreak Game, or may I say laid off. Right here you will see Andy D, an art producer at the Daybreak DC Universe Online. And they say, unfortunately, I was impacted by the layoffs at Dimensional Inc. You see, a bunch of us here at Daybreak Games got laid off, along with all the gaming industry and all the other companies. There's a bunch of devs in here replying and saying their sympathy for the loss and all this other stuff. But there's also another account that got impacted. Me! As you can see right here, it says Theodore Stone. That's me, Mepps. And right here it says, just wrapped up 13 years at Daybreak, and I'm looking forward to new adventures. Please hit me up if your needs include expert and authentic community work. So as you can see, I was part of the 6,000 employees that got laid off from the gaming industry. Oh boy, what will I ever do? Well, maybe you can consider donating for my cause and my employment.
Weak, exhausted, chained. She can't defend herself. Orphaned, lost, alone. She can't defend herself. Captured, controlled, terrified. He can't defend himself. They need you to protect them. Will you give £3 today?
Bruh.
On the forums, players are asking, did Mepps leave DCUO? Let's read what's going on. Valued customer like eMoney is saying that I was toxic, and hopefully this is an optimistic change for the company. Haha, yeah, right. I think things are gonna get worse from here on out, or maybe not. But what do I know? I'm just a community manager. Nice to see Proxy Star is still kissing our asses here at Daybreak Games. Good job kissing ass, Proxy Star. We love you, valued customer.
Bruh.
On this thread, there is positive and negative views on what's happening in my life. I'm not really sure why people think this way, but I'm not gonna cry like a little bitch. I'm not gonna be like Proxy Star. Well, right here, I'm going to show you what Ranmaru posted and said on this forum about me and my work. On this thread, you will see that developer Ranmaru has commented. He says, I can't comment on certain things, but if you guys can't keep it civil in here, I will not hesitate to lock the thread. Aha! You guys are not keeping it civil, and if you don't, he will lock the thread. Good job, Ranmaru. So what's happening? Why are all these layoffs happening? What is going to be the future for DC Universe Online and the gaming industry? What is occurring in the world? Why is everything changing rapidly? Well, we're going to take you here with Nerd of Prey, and she is going to bust down what is happening in the world and why all these layoffs are occurring.
What's good, DC? Let me holla at you. Let me holla at you. Let me holla, 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 holla. Let me hamla, blah, hamla, blah, blah, hamla, blah, blah, hamla, holla. Mepps, please. It smells like fish down there. Please get away from me.
Bruh.
So right here, you got this Kotaku article from February 9th, 2024, and it says 38 days into 2024 and 6,400 video game layoffs have been announced. I mean, this is bad news. There's so many game developers in here, AAA game companies that are just failing and laying off so many employees. Who's going to replace these people? What's going to happen to the gaming industry moving forward? Are we going to get our beloved games funded? Like, what's happening? Well, don't worry. I got all the answers for you, because with Nerd of Prey, we're going to keep you informed. We ain't going to be in the dark asking questions of what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't like all that crap. I mean, look at this, bruh. Microsoft let go 1,900 people. That is wild. I mean, like, what? What's going on? Alright, so in order for us to understand what's going on with the gaming industry, we have to look at what's happening to the economy. People just can't afford games no more. The gaming industry is dying in a hole when it comes to affordability and people investing their money in games. So, to show you an example of this, I'm going to have to take you back to the EG7 presentation when they exposed to us how much money DC Universe Online actually is making every month. And exactly what are they doing with that money? What are they going to use that money for? What are they putting that money into? So you see right here in this chart, EG7 revealed to us last year that DC Universe Online, along with EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, Lord of the Rings Online, and all these other games, all together, they only bring in about $8,000 a month. Let me tell you this, let me repeat myself. All these games together is bringing only $8,000 a month. They can't afford to keep a large staff to keep these games going. They need a skeleton crew. So who's going to replace all those other staff members? We're going to get to that. But before we get to that, what are they doing with this $8,000 a month that they getting collectively from all these games? Well, they reveal that too to us. So let's listen.
When I say no major investment, what I talked about earlier, like we're not going to remaster like DC Universe Online. We stepped away from that idea.
So as you heard the CEO from EG7 and Daybreak Games, he straight up said it himself that they are not taking money that you are spending on DC Universe Online and putting it back into the game to remaster it and make an amazing graphical change or anything in development. What they're doing is just taking the small bit of money and only putting it back into the game to pay off the skeleton crew that is giving you the bare minimum that they can perform with their skeleton crew. So what are they doing with the rest of the money? What are they investing in? Well, they taking all that money and developing a bunch of new games planned to come out in the next few years. If you don't believe me, let's listen to the CEO of Daybreak Games and EG7 tell you himself.
And then this is what it looks like currently based on what we know. So we have Mech Warrior clans coming out. Once again, we're not trying to make hundreds of millions with that. Very clear what our goals are. We want to be able to do another one 3 years later, maybe even sooner, because relatively smaller games. Cold Iron 2025, we want it in 2028 again. We want to create this framework so that we have repeatability. And in that franchise model, we're using the 80-10-10 model. H1Z126 and EverQuest, I should have like made it like blurry, but 2028 is sort of like far out, but that's what we think we could do. And then we want to sign up third-party couple more. For 26-27 to come out.
Bruh.
So you heard it from the horse's mouth himself. They're going to take all the money that they make from DCUO and all those other titles, and they're going to invest into brand new projects. They are going to develop new games leading up to 2028. There's a few things I can unpack from that presentation, like the fact that they trying to run all these games like Activision runs Call of Duty, but I'm not going to get into that in this video because that's not what it's all about. So what's going to happen to all these employees? Who's going to replace them? If they can't afford to pay their employees and if everybody's getting fired, is the game going to get shut down? Well, no, there's an answer. Robots are going to replace everybody. Yeah, you heard me. I said robots.
My name is Optimus Prime. We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron. But you can call us Autobots for short. Was cracking little bitches.
Bruh.
Nah, but serious, let me holla at you, real talk. It says, how will AI disrupt video game industry in 2024? In this article, you are going to find out all the answers you need to know and who's going to replace all of these developers. This new technology can create realistic and intelligent NPCs, generate dynamic and adaptive environments, improving game graphics and visual effects, enhancing the player experience through personalizing gameplay. I mean, you name it, this is gonna be the way of the future from here on out. Our world is rapidly changing, and those of you who are not paying attention and are still living in Ba Sing Se are not gonna get with the program and understand what is going down, and everything is gonna catch you off guard.
Bruh.
Right here we can read, artificial intelligence in gaming allows game designers and studios to perform data mining on player behavior to help them get an understanding of how people end up playing the game, the parts that people play the most, and what causes users to stop playing the game. With this data they can do so much you have no idea. Who's going to replace our beloved community manager Mepps? So right here, you're going to see artificial intelligence, neural network that can generate human-like responses to text input. You can use this technology to automate some of the routine tasks of a community manager. They are straight up telling you, but many people want to watch bullshit channels and say we're all getting informed and really y'all ain't getting nothing but a shill.
Bruh.
In conclusion, DC Universe Online is not gonna get shut down, so don't get your panties in a bunch. Yeah, they laying off a lot of people, but they just gonna replace them with AI bots. I mean, it's here, y'all. The future is here. Robots are taking over. If you don't believe me, why don't you just do a little bit of research yourself and see what the government is telling us themselves? I mean, they literally telling us right now what's about to occur in the next 6 years. Technology is gonna boom like crazy, and those of y'all that have no idea it's happening, y'all gonna be left behind. Stop living in Ba Sing Se.
Thank you, Nerd of Prey, for informing everybody. That breakdown was so great, I colored my hair blue just like yours. Now I'm going to pass it over to our UI engineer, but before I do so, I like to tell everybody that Mepps will always be doing these news dumps. He will always be here in a loop like an NPC. Now I will be able to make our UI engineer spawn.
Hi everybody, it is I, your UI engineer. So as you can see in the House of Legends and in other worlds too, we have limited the phase to only 50 players, and we did this because the Xbox is still crashing. This is a temporary change to address crashing on the Xbox. Yes, so even though you're on PlayStation and PC, you will be affected by this as well. And I know it's confusing, but us here at Daybreak Games, we are a confusing company. Mepps, back to you.
That concludes our news dump for the Daily Planet News, where you get all the latest news for DC Universe Online. We will catch you on the next news dump. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness. I got you